So I'm a big sports fan. My dad was a champion cyclist growing up, and I was a basketball player, and I used to play at a quite big level. But I love to, when I was talking about getting inspiration from different areas, sport is a big one for
Yeah.
kind of me. But anyway, he was talking about how they took the British Olympic cycling team and they really made them world class. And it wasn't through one or two big changes, it was through hundreds of little compounded changes and how it kind of works out. And one of the things that I do genuinely believe in, which kind of, Matt agrees with what you're saying, is that for me, there's 8 different areas which, if you grow your business or career and you get good across them, the difference is massive. So the first one is almost your technical knowledge and expertise of a particular industry that you work in. So you might work in food or fashion. That's something that you probably don't have when you come out of uni, but actually you learn kind of on the job. You've got all your personal skills, you've got your personal brand. But then if you add in a bit of knowledge on business strategy, what is it? What techniques do people use? So that, say for you growing the Fabric Academy, what are the best ways to grow it with minimum risk? But you kind of start to develop your skills there. Marketing is obviously an obvious one. You've got sales, you've got finance, you've got leadership, you've got lots of different kind of things. But basically for me and on the roadmap, there's 8 different areas that we kind of look at. But actually, if you get 10% better across all of them,
Yeah.
the way that actually compounds is that you're twice as valuable. You've really leveled up across the whole range of skills. If you get 20% better, which actually I think is more than doable. So the 40 or so people say on the call, many of them will probably know a little bit about sales, but maybe not, they didn't really deep dived in what is a sales pipeline. So, if you could say get 20, or say if you get 30% better across all of those 8 areas, which I don't think is a stretch for kind of most people, you're technically 8 times more valuable than someone that hasn't. And it's about just exposing yourself to different areas, different skill sets, different mentors, different kind of things. Because actually what that will do for marketers or for anyone is that, for instance, Lisa, now that you're the big boss, you probably have to wear different hats with HR and strategy and hiring, probably some sales and, running the finances, everything. But actually at some point you had to learn profit and loss, balance sheet, different things. But learning and just having exposure on those different areas will make anyone on this call so much more employable. That say if an account director a job comes up at your place, and you've got 10 people all side by side that are all good, solid 8 or 9 out of 10 for marketing, but there's someone else that is really into their personal development, is actually knows a bit about finance, they've done sales, they've done, for me as an entrepreneur, they are 100 times more employable because you can give them a task and they can run with it. But it also demonstrates the willingness to learn. And it's arguably the one biggest trait that people want. And some of my companies are hiring now. You want someone that, okay, if they can do the job, great, but you really want attitude, and you can't fake someone that keeps trying and tries their hard. And Ben Francis is a great example of a chap that admits that he doesn't know it all, but he's willing to try different things. And I love how humble he is. That Gymshark are one of my big inspirations that I want to follow. And yet with some other entrepreneurs, they're a bit more arrogant and stuff, but that humility to know what you don't know and actually ask stupid questions. It's like, do you know the brand Spanx?
Yeah.
So the lady that set that up, I'm a massive kind of fan. But when she was new to fashion, she would ask seemingly stupid questions to suppliers and like,
Yeah.
well, why can't we use that material? It won't work. And she's like, no, but she was asking stuff that wasn't the standard norm.
Yeah.
And that actually helped her build a $1 billion business.
Yeah.
Because you're not afraid to ask questions. And I think almost in hindsight, because I'm 38 now, when you get a little bit older, I had a meeting with someone yesterday and she used a phrase and I didn't know what it was. Me 10 years ago probably would have been like, oh yeah. Now
Yeah.
I'll ask them,
Yeah.
what does that mean? How does that work? And it just, for me, it's a personality trait that for me, the end goal is to have a bigger, wider impact in the world.
Yeah.
But you only really get that if you open yourself up to new stuff. And that's why I love the webinar series and listening to your other guests, just because I'm learning stuff.
Yeah.
And that for me, hopefully, makes
Well,
me
that is
better.
the purpose of the webinars.